Welcome. I'm Chef Drake at Lincoln High School Culinary Arts Department, and I have two of our students here today. I have Nathaniel and I have Jawan. Today we're going to do potato croquettes, or as you would call them, potato pancakes. We're going to make enough for everybody today, probably about 15. I'm going to go over the elements, or rather the items that we will have today. We're going to put this together with my two assistants, and then we have something for you guys to eat probably in about the next 15 minutes. Potato pancakes are similar to pancakes, but they don't have a whole lot of flavor. This can be done with a breakfast item, it can be done with a brunch item, it can be even done at dinner. So today we're going to look at the items we're going to do. We're going to use about 1 pound, that's 2 cups of mashed potatoes. We're going to take about 1 egg rather. We're going to use about a teaspoon of nutmeg, teaspoon of white pepper, not black pepper, white pepper, and a little table salt. We have green onions. We're going to use about 2 ounces of green onions. We have shredded cheddar cheese that we're going to add. And these items you see over here to my right is the toppings that you'll put on it at the end. Like I said, it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. So you could put ranch dressing, you could use syrup, you could use jelly on it. It's a condiment item, so it goes with other things. I believe our earlier class made chicken tetrazzini, so potato croquettes will go good with this in just a few minutes. So we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing you have to do is mash your potatoes. So we've already kind of pre-cooked our potatoes. You want to slice and peel them. Then most restaurants, they leave the skin on because the nutrients are in that as well. So these are already cooked. We're going to mash them in just a few minutes here. I'm going to give this to my assistant, Nathaniel here. I'm going to add a little bit of milk in this. I'm going to get it started. He's going to finish it for me. We're going to add a little white pepper to that. A little salt. Normally we're going to put like a half teaspoon. Teaspoon is a smaller one, tablespoon is a larger one. When you're doing measurements, 3 of these make 1 ounce. 3 of these make 1 teaspoon. So if you're going to do an ounce, you would need about 6 of these. So we're going to go ahead, since I've added probably about 1/4 of white pepper and a 1/4, or rather about 2 ounces of milk, 4 ounces of milk. I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg. I like nutmeg in my mashed potatoes because it gives a certain kind of aroma. It doesn't really affect the flavor too much. So I'm going to go ahead and put about 1/4 of a teaspoon. Now, why am I putting this in here without measuring? Because I've been doing this for years. I kind of know a little bit. But what we're going to do now, I'm going to get it started with this whip. We're just going to mash them up. And I'm going to pass them over to Nathaniel, and he's going to finish breaking them up. They kind of move around on you a little bit. That's all right. So he's going to go ahead and finish those for me. We have our green onions. You know the green onions you buy in the store. All we did was just wash those, clean them, and we just minced those up. I think the last time we shared with you guys and how you're going to cut something, if you're going to lay those out here, the tip is always on the edge, and you're just going to come down. These are already cut pretty fine, so I don't have to do anything. But I'll go ahead and do just a couple, so you see how to do this at home or next time you're in class with Chef Gaines or myself. The blade is always here. As we said before, you don't have to chop all over like you're a samurai. I pull that back, and we need about 2 ounces, so I'm going to do about 2 or 3 of those. How's it coming over there? All right. So I'll take that. I'm going to set this here for now. All right. The other items we're going to need today is some flour, because as you get the potatoes together, you're going to have to mix them together into small little cakes. And we're going to saute those or fry those in the skillet back here. You can use olive oil. You can use bacon grease to get a little bit more flavor. You can use Crisco oil. You just need something to cook it like a pancake. Sometimes you can put them in a fryer later. But one of the items that you have to remember when you make these mashed potatoes, let me help you out just a little bit. Put a little more milk in there. There you go. If you're going to fry these, you have to put them in flour, egg, then breadcrumbs. They have to already have been chilled for about an hour in the refrigerator. Then you can deep fry them. I prefer this way because it cooks a lot faster. So while he's pulling those together, we know we've got our cheese. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 egg to this mixture that he's doing here. Now, in culinary, we're going to teach you guys one day. I've done, I don't know, maybe 10 million eggs. I generally do 2 hands. But you see how my hands are like I'm about to throw a pitch? I hit on the edge. That's all I do. No shell. I just pull back. When you're in the kitchen and you got to do thousands of eggs, we're going both hands, and we have a trash can behind us, so we're cracking eggs and throwing them in the back because we do a lot of eggs in the hotel industry. So he's got egg in there. He has salt. He has nutmeg. He has white pepper, a little milk. We're going to add the green onions in a little bit as he breaks that down a little bit more, and he's doing a good job. We're going to add a little cheese in there, about 2 ounces of cheese. So I'm going to add that in there. It helps when the potatoes are warm because all the cheese and everything blends together, and it's actually a lot easier for him when they're done that way. But like I said, he's doing a good job. So what we'll do as he finishes, we'll bring that over here, and we have a mixture already made. We'll go ahead and roll some patties out. We'll cook those off, and then we'll have the finished products for you guys in just a few minutes. This recipe does not take long to cook. The longest part of this recipe is after you have cooked your potatoes, you've smashed them up, you have to chill them so they can get kind of hard in a cold state so that when you put them on the heat, they won't fall apart. If you take a warm or hot mashed potato and you try to go ahead and cook it, it's going to kind of fall apart on you. When you're flipping it, it kind of breaks up. So what we'll be doing today is taking some that's already been chilled so it'll come out a little bit easier. Okay? You've done an excellent job for us. Thank you. So I'm going to pull this back over here. Let's go ahead and add the, Jawan, add the green onions in here. Okay, so I'm gonna give this back to Nathaniel. I need you to just stir that up for me right quick. The key to any recipe is you guys can cook anything as long as you have the recipe and you follow the recipe. Everybody says, oh, I can cook, I'm a chef, I'm great. I know that, but the recipe determines how you cook. You can take a recipe you've never done before and do an excellent job as long as you follow the steps. Well, I want to add this, I want to add that. The next time. The first time, do it the right way. The next time, add those other items that you need. I'm using shredded cheddar. What if you were to take shredded jalapeno cheese? That's just going to give it that much more of a flavor. All right? So very good. He's got that for us. Thank you, sir. I'm going to set this over here. Now we have one, voila, already made. Already made. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Juwan to go ahead and let's put that up. Put a couple tablespoons of, he's going to put a couple tablespoons, we're using bacon grease today, just to get that flavor because the potato itself doesn't really have a whole lot of flavor. So. Yeah, the plates are hot, but when you're working in the kitchen, your hands get used to it over time. So you can handle a little bit of heat, you know, don't cry, don't drop it, don't break. Your hands get thicker as you work them. Even when we cooked the potatoes earlier, we let them cool down. I would take those potatoes straight off and add the egg, or it would cook in there and then you have scrambled egg. That would kind of mess it up. I kind of whip it around a little bit, let that air get in, bring the temperature down.
But you want warm instead of hot.
You want warm, you don't want hot when you're doing that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and make the first batch. See if he's got the stove ready. So what you wanna do with this, gets a little messy, so I'm gonna make the patties, he's gonna cook them all for us. You wanna start with a little flour on your hands on both sides. So I'll put it right in here, get that on. So I'm getting about 2 or 3 ounces right in there. You don't want to get too much flour in there to start kind of drying up, getting a little cakey on you when you take it and put it in to cook. So we got our flour. So everybody see that? It's lightly dusted on both sides. So I'll go ahead and put the first one right here. Now I'm putting them in the center. I'll make about 4 more for him to do. You want to try one? Okay. Let's come over here. Both hands. Kind of rub that together. Okay, open your hands. There you go. Put a little bit on there. Right there. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of play patty cake here with this. It shouldn't stick to your hand if you have enough flour on there. You're just making small little ones. You can make them a little bigger if you want. Everybody see it? I'm gonna put that here. Someone want to cut the timer off? Okay. Okay, that's good. That's perfect. So I'm gonna let him do the last one. Put a little flour in your hand there. All right, a little flour. I'm gonna wash my hands while he's finishing that last one. Okay, so how are we doing? We have a medium-high heat. Like I said, we're putting these pancakes in the middle, these potato pancakes. The heat has to be in the center. We have we have an aluminum steel pan, but a cast iron pan will work just as well. Let's move this out of the way. Ready to flip them over? Get that hand right. People eat with their eyes, so okay, so what I'm gonna get you to do, put a little jelly in one, put a little syrup in a couple others. You can come around here, then I'm gonna pass some to you, okay? All right, let's step back here for a second. The beauty of magic in the kitchen. We got about 9 of these all ready for you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and
for my first 4 years, I went to Texas Southern University to study business management, and then after I had to get my culinary arts degree so I can own my own business. I want to own multiple restaurants with my name and my brand. I absolutely love cooking. It gives me a sense of imagination and freedom. I can do anything my own way, being creative, not everything. I've been here since my junior year. That was last year, so I've been here 2 years.